Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Hello, and welcome to Here Comes the Lame, a Boulevard Bullies production with your host, me, PK, BLVD, and the man with the worst hat in history. One day you're going to take that damn baseball cap off. Jedi Joe in the house.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
What's going on? Welcome, everybody.
We're already getting yelled at that we were so wrong about the Twisted Metal show. Have you gotten to watch any of Twisted Metal?
No. It was on my to-do list, and I was busy. I was out of town.
I mean, maybe it's not as bad of a show as I said it was, but I don't think it's a to-do list show.
Yeah, I just wanted to look up a review shitting on it. So
yeah, I mean, there are plenty
and then
of
I can
those
have something
there
to talk about with you. But
that's what I do. I just watch the reviews of things, shitting on things, and then just educate myself of those reviews instead of actually watching the thing, and then just, steal those opinions. So surefire YouTuber way.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone these days.
Here Comes the Lame t-shirts up on the Big Cartel store.
Oh,
just our first mutation of them. We have a lot of other good ideas, but if you want to get a t-shirt for $20, it's on Big Cartel right now, and it's free shipping.
We have a whole bunch of merch. We have a lot of silly ideas we're throwing around. So,
Joe, I mean, you are the creator, the originator of the Here Comes the Lame name. So we got to get you a shirt.
Yeah. Maybe at Grand Slam.
Grand Salami.
Yeah.
That's not August 20th. That's September 20th, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, good. Because if it was August 20th, it would be like Sunday, and I would have to miss it.
It's my girlfriend's birthday. I'm dragging her to it.
Happy birthday! Here, hey, have you ever sat in the top row of the Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium? Happy birthday!
Yeah. Happy birthday! No, I mean, it's not going to be a huge demand for that show. I don't think so. I think it's going to be easy to sneak around, and
Yeah, I mean, you could really. It depends on how much energy you have, because you could really just walk around the whole time.
Remember when we first went and it smelled so bad?
Yeah, we were all the way at the top.
The top? Oh no, the top. All right, it just smelled bad everywhere there because the person I was sitting next to just smelled like just reeked. So I had to move up with you and Brian. And then the actual corridor where the merch and the bathrooms and everything it smelled like no one flushed any toilets in the bathroom. It smelled, and then all the BO and just all the marks on top of each other and the cheap seats. Just that's why I didn't go. That's why I didn't go the next year.
It's not a funny catchphrase. It's not a pretend thing. Wrestling shows, particularly AEW, don't smell good.
Especially, I mean, September is still hot, so it's still pretty bad. Usually about an 85, 90 degree day, randomly Indian summer.
My favorite thing of the week that happened was on AEW television. And we're going to close the show with that. We're going to close bat clean up with the AEW Dynamite review. But they did do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match between Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett. And it got me to thinking, man, there hasn't been a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie in quite some time.
Well, it's based off the game, right?
Well, yeah, it's based off the game. There's not a new movie coming out. There's a game coming out.
Is the game supposed to be Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, it's basically like one person's Leatherface and the other people try to escape.
Yeah, it's known as an asymmetrical horror game or asymmetrical.
Oh, like 4v1 or whatever.
Yeah, asymmetrical, yeah.
I played Friday the 13th, which was like an 8v1 type of thing, and you're Jason and you have powers.
You could be like every Jason, right?
Well, if you're a fan of the source material, the skins are quite fun. You could get any
Jason X.
Yep, you could get Space Jason. Yeah, it's great.
Could you be the mother?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Jason.
But yeah, I guess you go around chainsawing people. What's the last good horror movie that you saw that didn't disappoint you?
I keep trying to start the Evil Dead remake, and then I can't watch with my girl around, so I have to carve out a little bit. to watch that.
She's not a big horror gore fan.
Nope.
Yeah, you gotta hide away.
Yeah, it's all right. I just keep forgetting. I had Dune on earlier, the original Dune. Not to like turn it around, but
Hard
yeah,
sci-fi.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel, hardcore.
Yeah.
But last horror movie, I don't know.
I think
Been a
Dune,
while.
Dune is one of those movies that I want to like more than I actually do like. I think I'm ready to admit that. Like, I want to like it, but I never really do. Anytime I try to watch it, old or new.
Dude, I think like the last horror movie I watched was probably like that CM Punk horror movie. I don't watch a lot of them.
There was a CM Punk horror movie?
It was good. I liked it. It was you remember that movie he was in?
Please look it
Before
up.
it.
I'm sure it was terrible.
Girl on the Third Floor.
Wow.
That's what it was.
I'll have to add it to my to-do list.
It was they moved him and his wife like move into a house, and it's just like super creepy, haunted. You know, they do like the Insidious thing where like shit scares you like in the middle of when you don't expect it. Like it isn't like it builds up to a scare or it's at night and it's like popping out. It's like the middle of the day and you open up like the cellar door and like in bright sunlight something is right there.
I love
Really.
that. I love
Yeah, I hate that because that's how they do it now. Like that's how Insidious started that. You'd be sitting at a dining room table and it's just like, like the thing disappears.
that. Yes.
The red mask god thing, whatever
Love
that thing
it.
is called,
Love that.
disappears behind somebody. You know, like you're not expecting that. They're just in the middle of a conversation.
Joe, I feel like if you are getting scared by those classic jump scares, we got to get you traumatized by more disgusting, satanic, disturbing, deeply disturbing horror films.
I've seen Hereditary.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably my all-time favorite. I know that's
Yeah,
lame.
I've definitely seen that.
2017, to say the film from 2017 is your all-time favorite horror, but man, I can't get enough of that movie.
Yeah, it's definitely disturbing. I've seen a Bone Tomahawk. Have you seen that?
No.
That's with Kurt Russell, and that they're like it's supposed to be like Old West concept, and then it ends up being kind of like supernatural. It ends up being like these Native Americans that are like super powered and like ghost ghoul-esque, and it's extremely brutal.
I like extremely brutal. What are your thoughts
Extremely
on the...
brutal and bleak. I do not recommend it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Nice way to ruin your afternoon.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Shining?
Yeah, the original, of course.
No.
I'm more into old horror than I am new horror because new horror is like really good and it actually scares me. But like I said, I want to see the Evil Dead one. So
Yeah, I watched Lords of Salem, which is an older Rob Zombie film, just about crazy, satanic, floppy-breasted witches chasing after you, appearing in dark, crazy hallways and doing a witchy laugh. Very, very frightening, very terrifying. Like, oh, I'm just like you were saying, I'm in my apartment. Let me turn the light on to go into my closet. Oh, there's a naked, evil, crazy witch. And then it's like, oh, okay, turn the light off. It's just it's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Love it. Live for it.
I haven't seen Midsummer. I know I have to see that. What would you consider that horror movie, Midsummer?
I guess you'd say like, well, what do you consider Hereditary? Just horror,
guess, like,
right?
Yeah, horror.
Yeah, so Midsummer would be like horror. Like Midsummer and like The Witch, they're a lot slower. It's like very, very slowly developing, eerie horror.
Yeah, I heard The Witch is really good. Someone recommended that to me, who I trust his opinion.
Yeah, that's a good one, but that's like very, very slow. Very, very slow. Like, oh my God, yeah. With a lot of silence, a lot of quiet, eerie things. Same thing with Midsummer, but Midsummer does have like a few pretty brutal parts too. Actually, several brutal parts. Midsummer is basically like a horror movie in the daytime.
People's heads getting smashed in and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
So good.
People jumping off like cliffs and shit, right?
Yeah, well, that's the best part is the cliff jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've already seen all the big pops and Instagram clips.
Yeah. I mean, do you play Dead by Daylight?
I own it. I barely played it. if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get waxed real quick because it's a very competitive game.
And it has a very rich community of experts.
You have to like get a group of people or someone to like train you, like to mentor you.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you go in and just try to figure it out that way, you're just gonna get waxed every time.
So it's like you have to have like 4 friends, and everybody has to go to the 4 different switches, and you have to be communicating. Go like, all right, 1, 2, 3, flip the switches.
Yeah,
Stuff
it's
like
the concept is to escape, I guess. So it's like you repair the generators, and that like repairs like the hatch to get out and stuff like that. And then the killer is just out to like put everyone on hooks or down everybody, I guess.
Yeah, it's like when
Watch
you play
way
as,
more than I've played.
Yeah, it's a very popular streaming game. It's a very popular Twitch game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you are the person trying to escape, the killer's super overpowered, and you're like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. And then when you're the killer, they all overwhelm you, and you suck at being the killer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically
You're
what
like,
happened.
because they know how to bait you. Like if it's known as a pre-made group, if they know how to bait you to like get you away from everybody, and then like they're doing all the objectives, and then like, oh shit, I gotta go back there. Oh wait, here's somebody else. Like they keep like distracting you. So that's as a good killer, you need to know how to like chain all your attacks and stuff like that. Now as for the IPs and franchises stuff they use, I mean, like, have you seen the killers in it?
Yeah, it's like everybody. It's like a Mortal Kombat 10 type of situation or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
they just added Nicolas Cage is in it.
Yes, finally.
They
which Nick?
I think it's just this normal Nick, but there's skins and stuff too. Yeah.
So not like Con Air Nick, just Nicolas Cage.
It might. I mean, that would be appropriate. That'd be cool. But I mean, like I said, I haven't seen all the.
Well, actually, Joe, in Con Air, Nicolas Cage is innocent. He's an innocent man. He's a former CIA agent who gets framed for murder, and he's in the plane with all these horrible murders, but he's actually innocent. But he can throw down if need be. How do you feel about MK1?
Is that supposed to be a reboot of the franchise now, right?
Yeah, it's they're rebooting it.
How did it end with like time travel stuff? I thought they already they did the multiverse thing. That's what it was, right?
Oh, I don't know. Like the storyline? I don't know what happens in
that's where it ended, like MK10 or MK11. That's where it was headed. It was like, it'd be like a Raiden kills Scorpion, like a modern Scorpion looking, and then he turns around and there's like a Scorpion that looks like it's from like MK1.
Huh. And
he just like torches him.
All I know is that
like turns evil too. Like that's like how the storyline goes. I guess he turns evil or something like that.
So. Oh yeah, I don't know. All I know is that had the Terminator and Predator, and MK1 apparently is going to have like Homelander and Omni-Man and stuff in it. Or I don't know if that was.
I saw that.
Was that real or was that just a Photoshop that somebody made? I can't even tell the difference anymore.
No, I think that is. It says Homelander, Omni-Man, and Peacemaker. Cena's going to be in it.
Classic. Love Cena.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen Peacemaker, Peace Walker?
No, I haven't seen the show, but I saw Suicide Squad and I really liked it.
Yeah, show is awesome. Show is absolutely awesome.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. I mean, I've only heard great things about it. So
yeah, so today we're going to look at WrestleMania tickets as well. If we can raise $19,000, maybe me and Joe will split a ticket. So we're going to do that. We're going to get into AEW later. Let's get into just headlines, a little potpourri of what happened during the week. Apparently, the merger between WWE and what the hell is the name of it? Endeavor. They picked a new board. One of the people on the board is Robert Kraft, or Robert Kraft's son, from the Patriots owner.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And apparently, unless Triple H nails and lands the 11th seat of the board of directors, which he's always had, he's out. So they redid the board of directors. There's 11 chairs. 10 of them are already filled. Triple H just scratching and clawing. Do you care about this at all?
Not really. I mean, I think H should just be. So him on the board of directors has nothing to do with him as creative, right?
I guess not. I mean, but I wouldn't know.
I mean, why does this guy who has a bad heart need another gig?
Yeah. Well, Vince McMahon already like double swerved him. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave." Just kidding, I'm back. Oh, just kidding, I'm gone. Or am I?
Yeah. Or am I? Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
who
I got
knows?
a bad neck now. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Vince McMahon's intense spinal surgery.
Yeah, I hope he's feeling well.
I'm sure he's fine.
Propped up in bed, in the hospital bed.
Just calling Triple H, like yelling on a one-way phone line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, have they really been doing anything out of the box that isn't,
No, I did catch a little bit of Raw. The most interesting thing to me, besides that, well, Roman Reigns is injured. He got injured in the tribal combat, apparently. I don't think that really makes a difference because he could come out, still do what he does injured, and then wrestle in 3 months. So you won't even notice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he already doesn't wrestle that much anyway.
We're getting reports that the Vince McMahon surgery was life-changing. Yeah, I mean, he's 70-something years old, maybe 80 years old. Spinal surgery.
Yeah.
He's going to look like
gonna...
Stephen Hawking. No, come on. With a little mustache.
Yeah. I'm booking the Fed now.
Maybe
again.
Maybe it wasn't maybe it was life-changing in the way like they took his spinal fluids, put them into a younger man. You know, like found like a homeless guy or something on the street.
Yeah.
You know, fit, in shape, like freshly homeless. Has muscles not yet deteriorating.
Facebook homeless?
No.
Have you seen this?
No. What is Facebook homeless, please?
Facebook homeless is when they because Facebook is filled with there's fake content everywhere, but fake content is like everywhere on Facebook because of boomers. They just are gullible and believe everything. And that's majority of the clientele and users on that social media platform. So it's basically like if you took like prosthetic beard, like a gray dirty beard, and put it on me and gave me a gray dirty hair and like put like birds and fucking trash and like dirty clothes and dirtied my skin and my face, and then it's just like them reforming and cleaning up this person, but it's not a homeless person. It is a freaking actor.
Maybe.
And people believe it. They're like, nice cut. Oh, so glad you did this. So happy you could clean somebody up. And then there's always like one person that's like, this is fake. This isn't real.
What about like doing all of that, but then like panhandling on Facebook? Like anything you could give would be appreciated.
No, they would donate. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, possible new career opportunity for me.
Oh yeah. Facebook. Believe anything.
What else is happening on Facebook? I forget what I was saying before you said Facebook.
We were talking about the homeless man,
so,
and he's putting the smile.
Yeah, I forget about the homeless man because you never know who's Facebook homeless, who's real homeless anymore. So that's out the window. I'm saying more of like a Captain America type thing, like a young soldier who's got the heart and got the brains to be Vince McMahon. Get Vince
Walt
McMahon.
Disney.
Yeah, well, they're going to inject this guy with Vince McMahon serum, play No Chance in Hell over and over again, and he's going to come back as like 25-year-old Vince.
Yeah.
That's what they mean by life change.
Fallout New Vegas. You ever play Fallout New Vegas?
Of course, yes.
What was it? Mr. House was the guy. He controlled Vegas, right? But he was like Walt Disney. He was...
Yeah, and he was like
you thought he knew what he looked like, but what he actually was like a decrepit, dying man that was like tubes and like in this like cryo freeze, like what apparently Walt Disney is. So you can choose to kill him or not. That's what they're going to do at Vince.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's already happening. The mustache was just
you book to the day he dies and then die again and live again.
Then he'll book himself a big comeback.
Yeah.
How could you miss me if I never leave?
Yeah.
Big news. Charlotte Flair and Andrade. Potential, possible, probable Splitsville divorce. Huge news.
They were so happy together. They did wrestling moves into pools with Ric Flair.
They did wrestling moves into pools with Ric Flair. They would do each other's moves on their separate television shows.
Yeah, cringy stuff. Yeah.
But apparently, Andrade unfollowed Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair unfollowed Andrade, and Ric Flair unfollowed Andrade as well.
Whoa, yeah, that's 100% fact then.
Yeah, and they haven't been seen taking photos together, only taking photos of themselves separately. Living my best life. I'm not divorced. Everything's fine. So that's apparently what's happening with them.
So I guess this is gonna follow. She's gonna follow suit with her dad and just have multiple marriages.
That would be awesome.
She's gonna break. Has she broken Flair's world title record?
Yeah, I think she's 16. I think she's tied with him, or 17 maybe even.
So how many divorces does he need to go through then? Does she need to go through? 4 or 5?
Yeah, I mean, Ric Flair, he's the one who's the victim in all this. He just doesn't know who to hang out with anymore because he loved being tranquilo.
He's hanging with Mike Tyson and I don't know who I saw him with the other day, smoking weed or doing something with. He's another one.
You know, Ric Flair's probably a terrible father-in-law to have.
Oh yeah, I think he's a terrible father. in any facet.
The only person who he treats well is Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And besides that, it's like a real shit show.
His dealer.
Because you know how he all of a sudden he'll tweet out about how Becky Lynch sucks, or he'll tweet out about how a wrestler sucks. He's so outspoken. He'll probably get on your ass if you're Charlotte Flair's husband. He's probably gonna be on your ass about everything all the time. Woo!
Yeah. Logan Stein says 16-time champ, 5-time husband. Thank you.
All right, let's start a pool right now. Who will Charlotte Flair's next husband be?
Maybe Marco Stunt.
Okay, interesting choice. Dark horse.
Yeah, Marco Stunt, Joey Janela. Joey Janela pops up with random beautiful women all the time. Could be him.
I'm trying to think long and hard here. Were we saying she's going to date someone in the E? Date someone in AEW? It's only
date
fun.
Someone in Impact or the Indies.
It could be any wrestler. Any wrestler.
What about female? Maybe Tessa Blanchard.
Huh. I was trying to think of a secondary Latino man. Another Latino man. Maybe a Damian Priest. Or
Dominic. Yeah, Brian said Dominic Mysterio.
She's already at 3 divorces? No. That would be so cool to just that just becomes your thing. After 2 divorces, you just got to make it your thing. You just deliberately and knowingly propose way too early and just be well, this is my thing. I go right for the marriage and I get divorced. I got 5 ex-wives. I got 5 ex-husbands.
Woo!
Woo! Love
I got 4 ex-wives. Woo!
Lacey Evans was released.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares.
But we're going to talk about it, though, because she seems to think everyone does.
Yeah, I mean, she at this point, it's almost the same thing as the ex-wives. It's that's her thing. She gets released and repackaged.
Wait, she was released that first time when she left?
I think she got pregnant.
Yeah, she got pregnant.
And I think it was actually Ric Flair's baby, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it when she was seducing Ric Flair?
Oh, yeah. That was like a meme for a little bit, right? They were hanging out or something.
Yeah, and then she got pregnant, potentially by Ric Flair. Nobody has said otherwise, ever.
I saw something where she potentially is opening her own coffee shop.
Okay.
And everyone's got to have their other stream of income. I mean, Mandy did it too.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Mandy sold donuts.
Donuts and nudes.
Yeah.
That's all you need. So.
Really, that's the name of my favorite donut shop, actually. Speaking of donuts and nudes, Bray Wyatt has a very, very serious illness. That's why he's not around. Apparently, it's not because there's creative arguments. It's not because he's out of ideas or depressed. He's got a very serious physical illness, undisclosed, potentially threatening his life and career.
It'll come back like super skinny.
Oh, man, that would be so strange. I hate when fat people get skinny. Like Al Roker, you know?
Oh, yeah, he
Came back.
looks like a shell of a man.
Yeah, like Jonah Hill. Did you see the Jonah Hill?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times the issue is that they don't lose weight. It's not a healthy weight loss. It's due to like massive cocaine usage or whatever other drug suppressing their appetite. That's not how you should do it.
So maybe that's what's going on with Bray. He's trying to lose weight, and he has a serious cocaine illness.
Isn't he married to that really hot announcer?
Yeah, it was like this JoJo. JoJo's.
She's not in the company anymore, is she?
No, I don't think so. I think he was another one with a wife, and then fell in love.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the ring announcer.
Yeah. Well.
Classic case.
I mean, I hope it. I've always liked him. I've met him, and it's just like can't seem to get his shit together. This is just how it's going to be, I guess. He's always going to be gone for some reason.
Well, one day
he was saying he was going to come back as the Fiend, right?
Well, they were saying they were pushing him to, and that he didn't want to. But now apparently the story is that they wanted him to come back at SummerSlam, but he still wasn't medically cleared. So who even knows what? Who even knows?
Doesn't really have to like wrestle as the Fiend. He just needs to go back to the Fiend where they just squashed people all the time. Just unkillable. No selling everything.
I mean, he hasn't been the original Fiend entrance was awesome. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember watching and being like, "This is awesome."
And it was like me.
Yeah,
it was like sick. It was like the light flaring.
Yeah.
And then he would just show up, and then they decided to start making it into like where the lights in the arena were like, doom, doom, like all shutting down. Like,
yeah, and they had the shutting down sound effect.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's coming, boom.
No, that was a pretty dope entrance when he first came out. But yeah, I mean, and then one day he'll have a documentary about how it was, wasted potential, a misunderstood genius.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I don't even remember and the last thing he did that was genius. And the old Uncle Howdy thing, how he came out and then he like overacted, emotional, like I'm just a guy like you. I get mad at people, but I forgive them, man.
Yeah,
brother, man.
Yeah, he was doing the MJF, like I'm one of you, or like the sentimental. I was a Jewish boy. They threw quarters at me or something.
MJF loves to do those long tales of his lore and background.
I was too. They threw quarters at me.
Yeah, they all get into this place of, who I blame for that? Mick Foley. Because Mick Foley did it so excellently, where he'd be real serious, and then he'd say something in a sad type of weird way. Yeah. And everyone's like, I could do that. I could do a 20-minute story where I pretend crack my voice. It's like, no, you can't. No, you can't.
I think it's because they're trying to be relatable to like the marks who are very socially awkward and have like weird childhoods and no friends and like,
that's what Cornette says.
I'm like you. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I have anxiety and mental illness and that sort of thing.
Right. My mental health.
Yeah.
My mental health. Well, that's what Cornette says. It's like everything on AEW is surrounded by, you were friends with me and now you haven't spoken to me. I sent you a text, man, and you didn't respond. You're hanging out with the Dark Order now, man.
Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about that. Yeah, that'll be good.
I don't know if I know your thoughts on New Japan. How are your feelings? Are you a big New Japan fan?
Not anymore. I didn't know people still like actually watched it. But I used to be big into it. It was definitely on my radar to go to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom when it was in its, way in its prime.
Like 2016, 17?
16, 17, when like the elite was still there. Um, but I guess COVID kind of like really pumped the brakes on that company too. Plus AEW signing those guys too, that didn't help. So, but I need to catch up on G1 and stuff. I need to watch a few matches and stuff. So, it's Naito. I'm into Naito. So,
yeah, he won. Naito won.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but this was a week ago. It ended, right? So
yeah, I think it was between our last episode and this episode, but I think it might have been like Friday or Saturday. It was like early within the week.
Yeah. Yeah, or I'll do the thing where I look up all the star ratings and then find like whatever like the top 2 or 3 matches were from the G1 and just watch them.
And watch them. I think that's a pretty smart way to use the star ratings.
Well, it definitely is. Yeah.
Instead of like arguing about what the star rating is, you just find like the top few and then watch it for yourself.
Yeah. But also now you have to take it. You have to look at it differently because now he's extended what the meta is. He's like this. You going through the 5-star ceiling, like you can have like 5.5, 6. I think there's 7 now actually.
So you could do 7. So
now is 7. If there is a 7-star match, then like or 6.5, whatever like that, or then what is a 4.5 match? Like 4.5 matches, like 4.5 stars, or 4 3/4 stars, almost perfect match. We used to be like, a great match. Now is that not a great match? Is that just an okay match? Should I go back and watch that 4 1/4? Because I used to watch those 4 1/4s, but 4 1/4 is on a list this big with all this other shit in front of it.
I guess my general answer to that, a good formula would be like you're really just going to watch a few matches from this particular event, the G1 Climax 33 or whatever. So, if you take it show by show, then you don't have to worry about the 7-star match because really you're just taking like the top 3 of that event. But, if you were going to go back and watch like the greatest matches of the last year, yeah, maybe you would be doing yourself a disservice by only looking at 5 and above and not taking a 4.5 into your eye holes.
I'm looking it up now. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so the highest match rated this year was 6 1/4, which was Kenny and Will Ospreay. And then 6 flat is also Kenny, Will Ospreay. Oh no, Kenny and Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom, and then below that Kenny, Ospreay, Forbidden Door.
How much? What was the rating of Forbidden Door?
6 flat, 6 even. Then MJF Bryan 5 3/4, and then that he gave FTR and Juice and Jay White 5 1/4.
It just seems so arbitrary. Like it's like
I'm trying to find some.
Like with Siskel and Ebert. Like with Siskel and Ebert, it's like their whole gimmick was that they each had 1 thumb, and you'd get 1 and 1, 2 down, or 2 up. Imagine if like Siskel or Ebert just one day was like, you know what? I'm giving this one 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up.
Yeah,
it's like the other guy would be like, you just ruined the whole show, dude. You just destroyed the foundation of our very show. It's like you can't just say all of a sudden 3 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, because look at this. He gave that Mania match with Gunther, McIntyre, Sheamus, he gave that 5 stars. I wouldn't say that was 5 stars. I would have said that was at least 4.5 to 4. I would say it was probably 4.5.
Okay, so
you know what I mean? Like everything is like it's been like now the numbers are like inflated. Now he has to just keep going up. Now everything's is how many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 5-star matches, 3 5 1/4, 1 5 3/4. Well, it used to be like 1 5-star match a year, and that was it. And it was definitive. This was the match of the fucking year.
So what he should do, because it's not even like, think about if you were reviewing something, you would go, oh, okay. Like for us, we go scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least lame, 10 being Tony Schiavone. So if you were going to do 5 stars, 1 or half a star, 1, 1.5, 2. That's basically like scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you do 5 stars and they're each a quarter, that's really on a scale of 1 to 20? No.
Yeah.
1 to
No,
100.
it's fucked up. That's what the scale.
It's all 1 to 100 then. But then I guess
you
now
match it, like that's what's messing me up also. And I don't know how other people feel about this, but like
Or no.
I'm looking at this match and Wheeler Useless is in a 5-star match.
Wheeler Useless. What's the match is that?
Double or Nothing, Danielson, Claudio, Moxley, Useless versus Paige, Omega, Nick, and Matt. Anarchy in Arena, Double or Nothing.
No, come on, get out of town. All right, let's get back to WWE and run through the happenings of Raw. I just want to get your yay, or no, not your yay, nay. We're going to go lame-o-meter.
Okay.
Okay, lame-o-meter,
yeah.
1 being the least lame, maybe even, dare I say, cool, and 10 being, of course, it's Sting! Tony Schiavone, top-level cringe, S-tier cringe. So I guess the main event of Raw was the same. Raw is kind of getting boring. WWE kind of after WrestleMania kind of cooled down. I guess we're still doing the Damian Priest, Finn Balor quest for the championship. I keep interfering with my briefcase. Damian Priest is trying too hard. So it's Cody.
They're kind of lost in this whole booking of the Judgment Day. It's like, is Rhea in charge? I think they lack leadership. I think they just need to make Rhea, like, if Rhea's not going to have a feud, she should just be the leader of the Judgment Day, and it just works because she's jacked, she looks good, she's a champion, and people love her. And they want to have, they want to push the women thing. So,
girl power. She's the leader of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I feel like it's a slam dunk. They just don't want to come out and do it. They're just like, oh yeah, Damian kind of is. Oh, Finn is. Oh, Rhea is. Like, just make it definitive. Like, she is. She doesn't have to have a feud. She can just argue with them all the time, but still oversee them.
She keeps them in line. Yeah. Well, if you've listened to some of Triple H's press conferences, that's like they're like the new age faction where. Who is the leader? They could all be the leader. And that's what makes it cool. What a dynamic group. They use all these buzzwords to make it seem like it's so original that they don't have a leader. But
but it's just awful, lazy booking in the end. Yeah.
Right. And they're doing power struggle between Damian and Finn. And I guess this past week it was Finn versus Cody now. And Damian slid in the briefcase. Guess what? Reverse the pressure. Cody uses the briefcase, beats Finn. Big whole argument at the end. I don't know. What's their next major pay-per-view? Is it it's Payback, but then they're also going to be heading towards a little bit of Survivor Series, little War Games, Judgment Day and J.D. McDonough versus like Sammy, Kevin, Cody, Rollins. I don't know. Something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, it's like something that goes nowhere really anyway. It's whatever.
They're doing this thing too. You know how Rollins acts like the Joker? He's like trying to be like an unhinged, like wacky Joker type guy. So I guess the new thing is that Shinsuke turned.
Yeah.
And Shinsuke's like more Joker than Rollins is Joker. Like Shinsuke said some shit to Rollins and it like completely threw him off. He was like, what? That was some crazy. He like whispered to him some crazy, crazy shit. And Rollins is like, whoa, I've never, whoa. So they're doing that.
I mean, Nakamura was original unhinged kind of. He was just extremely charismatic and very like, not goofy, just very obscure Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury kind of esque when he was in New Japan, Well,
and even like his early years in NXT were so good too.
Yeah.
The original, I think it was like 2014, his debut match versus Sami Zayn in NXT TakeOver was one of my favorite matches because he was so cool. He was so mysterious and cool. He was just this crazy Japanese like guy who's going to beat the shit out of you. He was like Japanese Gunther when he came. It was like so sick. And I don't know. I don't know where they went wrong with him, but little by little, he just became like a nobody, nothing thing.
I mean, he's getting old, and he kind of stopped caring, but they stopped caring about him too.
Well,
I
not
mean, let's
anymore.
be real. The company is racist. Let's be real. I mean,
No, they're not racist. They
hate
had Asuka and Shinsuke win the Royal Rumble in the same year, Joe. There's nothing
the same
less
night.
racist
Yes,
than that.
Same night. I was there. I witnessed it.
There's
It was in
nothing
Philly.
less racist than deciding this year we're going to have 2 Japanese people win.
Yeah, and proceeded to have Charlotte win and end her winning streak and do absolutely nothing with her after that.
Well, and then Shinsuke and Nakamura got into the legendary kick you in the balls, tit for tat rivalry with AJ Styles.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It was different, kicking in the balls.
Yeah, it was like a ball feud. Are you excited about a possible resurgence of evil Nakamura versus Rollins? You think that Rollins can elevate him? You think Shinsuke is going to go on one more run here and care a lot?
I think if he kicks him in the balls a bunch, maybe that'd be cool.
What if Nakamura beats Rollins just so that Priest can cash in on Nakamura, have a Japanese guy take the L, says WWE, and then just so that Rollins doesn't get cashed in on and then can be a 2-time.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Because I was saying there was going to be Finn win, and then Damian was going to cash in. I think that would have been the better, angle. That had more juice to it. If you wanted these guys to feud and they're kind of going at it, just like cash in on him. Or
right, because why do I care?
Either way, you could have had Finn win, and then it'd be like a moment, and then cash in, or have Seth still retain and then cash in on him, and then Seth go do something else, and then Finn still be. You could have had something there, and then now they're just bickering every week, and it just
right. And why would they Cody's not a champion, so why would Damian Priest even care? I guess this week Damian just tried to get involved to help. And even just to get it wasn't even out there for himself. He was just like, here, Finn, I'm your friend still. Use the briefcase. And it's like, oh man, it's just not working, Damian. They're gonna have a big breakup.
Did you see his promo earlier in the show where he's like, these people know it. We don't want to hide it. Something's wrong with Judgment Day. Like his promo is just so bad, bro. I just can't do it.
What is
his voice is just like, oh, like it's so deep and just. So it's deep and monotone, at the same time,
Yeah, and he's like a bad actor.
Yeah,
it's no surprise. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's
trying to be real.
Okay, what's more likely? Rollins losing to Nakamura and Nakamura beating him for the title, or Chad Gable beating Gunther?
Nakamura beating Seth.
Oh, wow. See, because I was kind of transitioning into, I believe that Gable might be the guy to beat Gunther. If they do a perfect Rocky IV, I think Gable's my guy to dethrone Gunther.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty bad. I mean, then again, that's what the E does, have this really long, awesome title reign where he's like, what about to be the longest running Intercontinental Champion, right?
Right.
And instead of giving someone a rub, give it to someone they've beat to death,
Nah, you got it all wrong, man. Shorty G, he's a new man.
Yeah.
Shoosh. Shoosh, please.
Shoosh, please, yep.
Yeah. The kids love it.
I don't know. Definitely oh no, wait, is he actually over with his gimmick?
No, I think that the vibe that I get, maybe it's just because I'm one of these people, it's like he's a great wrestler. So when he when he comes out and says shoosh, I'm like, oh, you're so lame. But then when I see him wrestle, I find myself going yeah, I love this guy. Shoosh.
Yeah.
And I find myself loving his terrible gimmick just because he's still the same American alpha, long greasy hair Chad Gable. He's still doing the same awesome shit. So,
yeah, great wrestler. Don't get me wrong.
Gable, Otis, Maxine Dubry and Honky Tonk Man form a Talking Heads cover band. You know who the most charismatic person in WWE is? Maybe besides Cody, like top 5. You got like Cody, Roman, Rhea. You know, throw in one of the Usos or somebody like that. But top 5, Chelsea Green is amazing and so funny and so like unhinged, and the things that she says, she's one of the only people who you don't feel like they wrote it for her.
Yeah.
You know, it just sounds like she's just naturally hilarious and funny at being Chelsea Green.
Well, I mean, she was always funny. Like even when she did like the hot mess gimmick, you know, how it was supposed to be like, I don't know, schizophrenic bridesmaid or bride left at the altar gone mad kind of gimmick.
Love it.
Kind of like Joker makeup kind of thing. Like she was good with that. And then all the stuff, I think, well, a lot of Cardona rubs off on her, I think, as well. So I mean, Cardona and Myers will always be way funnier, but she definitely has gotten to like
no way. No, she's much funnier than Matt Cardona. I'm sorry.
When you get them all together, they're great though.
Yeah, but it was so great. She went on all these podcasts and saying like, "Oh, it's an open, you know, competition. I'm hiring and looking for a women's tag team champion." And it was like, it could be R-Truth. It could be, you know, Tommaso Ciampa. It could be Johnny Gargano. And then all of a sudden it was just Piper Niven. You know, WWE squashed that real quick. They're like, "Nah, you're just going to be in a tag team with Piper Niven."
Yeah, it's weird. I don't feel like it was a bad take on that.
I think it would be awesome if she had like a different partner. She was doing like auditions.
Yeah, that would have been, why not like just go. Yeah.
And then every week the person who she has with her like helps her win. It's like the dope person that she has with her is like the reason they win, because she's like a buffoon heel, you know? And then it's like, so that person like helps her win. And the person's like, "All right, I'm on the team, right? Because like I won the match." She's like, "Well, we'll get back to you."
Yeah, and they could do it like the Bachelorette or Bachelor, where they line them all up for a few weeks.
So good.
And then it's like no one's on the team.
Right, it's nobody. The search continues.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so great.
Just fine. You needed me.
Right. You just consider yourselves lucky for being on the show. All right, before we get to AEW, let's go buy some WrestleMania tickets, Joe.
Okay. So Mania tickets have been on sale. They go officially on sale to the general public tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, but there have been pre-sales available all week. I actually picked up my tickets yesterday. And it's in Philadelphia.
Is that why this elite level package is sold out, because you got the elite level
I got
package?
the 21. I actually put it on my girl's credit card. The $21,000 before fees. She doesn't know yet. So
it'll be like a double birthday surprise. You're
Yeah.
You're at the Grand Slam, and then she gets her statement that weekend. All right, so 2-day WrestleMania tickets plus priority pass. I'm over here at the Elite. Front row seating, elite welcome event, exclusive backstage experience, pre-show hospitality with The Undertaker, and private transportation. Huh. Well, let's go.
So that one sold out. The price was original. So when it sells out, the price just turns to the word sell out. So, or sold out. But that was $21,500 per person. That was before fees.
Jeez. I mean, do you think they send a private car, or do you think you just get on a bus with all the other elite level marks?
Front row. So this is the elite one, right? Front row seating, elite welcome event, exclusive backstage experience, private transportation, pre-show hospitality with The Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, I've one time I snuck into like one of these for Metallica like years ago. Like we literally just like walked in but it wasn't on like this level kind of thing. It was kind of just like a fan club thing, and you paid like maybe $300-400 and got like open bar and a bunch of food and like floor tickets or something. But yeah, I don't know what this Undertaker thing is. Pre-show hospitality with the Undertaker.
Well, that's offered in the Gold, Champion, and Elite packages.
Well, that means they have to have all these people at like all 3 levels.
Right. So it's not like he comes by your seats and shakes you a martini and like hangs out with you for a few minutes. It's like 500 people in like a hotel, like, you know, convention hall, like an annex. Right? Like, you know, I don't think.
I think so. Yeah. No. Or I mean, I would think this is at the venue, so this might be like. I mean, how many of these do they actually have? For front row tickets, like if they're saying it's front row or premium floor seating, so if this is front row seating, like there's comps, like there's not a lot available.
Oh my
like
God, there's an ECW arena excursion.
Yeah.
Oh,
which one is
God.
that?
This is in the Elite. I mean, I think I'm seeing ECW arena excursion in a few of these. But the Elite
ECW experience, yeah. So what do they go to the 2300 arena?
Yeah, and you get to jump off the balcony like you're New Jack, and then they give you a hot dog.
And then you all go into the men's bathroom
and take a photo in front of the.
That's literally all you do. You go to the 2300 arena and probably walk around with like maybe RVD or oh no, I don't know. RVD is all Elite now, so I don't know. Dedicated wait staff on floor, WrestleMania 40 commemorative chair.
There you go.
With exclusive hassle-free shipping and all lower inclusions. Oh, okay. So you also get the other thing.
So you get like the live podcast media lounge. That's part of the Champion package.
Ring mat plaque, official gift pack.
So the Elite was the most expensive?
No, the Elite one was 21,000, but I didn't get to the suite by the seat thing. The one that's above that with the bell. The one at the bottom.
Oh,
right.
So this is like they come to your suite, in-suite superstar visits.
That had to be the suite has to be more, you would think, right?
Yo, what superstar do you think they send? Like
Chad Gable.
No, what's the guy? Oh, maybe like Big E. Maybe you could get lucky. You get like Big E to come over and be like, "How you doing?" And he like gyrates on Grandma. You know, he like thrusts.
Not good.
Who's the guy who fell into the ring? The freaking guy who's like he doesn't wrestle anymore. You know, the guy who like tripped and fell under the ring during the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh,
yeah, that guy, this guy.
Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil. Dana Brooke and Titus O'Neil come.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Someone said Tozawa. Yeah, it's probably that
Biggie would be dope.
That's a trap, bro. Like saying it's just an in-suite. At least these other ones, you're somewhere around the Undertaker. Maybe you can take like a poster or a chair and have him sign it. You know,
I bet you that it's no autographs. I bet you that the thing is like, oh, it's at like, you know, whatever, WrestleMania starts at 4. It's like at 3:00 in like the Delta Club of the thing. You know, and it's like a meet and greet, and it's like you can mingle with him, and he's like standing next to the bartender. You know, he's like, yeah, hey, you know, I don't know. I
thought he was gonna be mixing drinks. I know that completely, like he's gonna have like it's a small bar maybe, and like him and an actual bartender making drinks. Like he's just like pouring beers and maybe making like, you know, rum and cokes or something.
But you know, I don't know, because I don't know. I don't think it's like all those things sound dope, but it's like Disney World, you know? It like sounds dope, but it's so like organized. Like there's no like freedom, like, oh, backstage, whatever. It's like, you know, you don't get to like walk backstage. You're in like the, you know, the carted off area, you know?
Yeah. I didn't know there was a little like, there was these other items too on it, on top of it, like the lanyard, credential, Superstore Express Lane, dedicated arena entrance.
Oh, so you're looking at silver, $950.
Oh, so gold is sold out too already. So I wonder how much that was.
What's the difference between gold?
Oh wait, I think I screenshotted it also from last week because I saw there were.
So in this one, you get a ring mat plaque, signed commemorative poster, pre-show hospitality. See, the silver doesn't have the Undertaker shit.
Okay, so the gold one was 4,000. The other one that's sold out, the top right,
Yeah, the gold.
the one with that was $4,000 per person. All this is people. This is all without fees, by the way.
$9,000 for the champion package. Only 2 packages left. Is that like? Does that mean like we would each have to get like? Is that 1 package per person? Like you walk in with your own package?
Yeah, PP means person per person.
All right, let's get it, guys. If you want to tip to the channel,
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did this go up in price?
Next
Oh shit,
April.
this did, dude.
What did?
Like the silver, the ones on the top was that say silver, and then gold.
Right.
When I screenshotted this like a few weeks ago, it was 400, 679, and 4,000. Now it's 1,000 and 950.
Sheesh.
So it went up in price.
Yeah, you get to hang out in the live podcast studio is actually just Sam Roberts sitting in a dark room by himself, and like when you come in, he's like so excited to see you. Like he needs you to hang out with him. And you're like, no,
Maybe
it's okay.
they thought they undersold these, maybe. You know, maybe they figured like the value of these. Maybe it was a deal back like 2 or 3 weeks ago, you know? Because this stuff is still kind of in its infancy. So when they
like all these packages, like WWE travel packages and all this shit.
Yeah. I mean, they've done travel packages, but I don't think they've done them like this quite like this level with all these perks and all that. Like
next April, WWE returns to Philadelphia for WrestleMania, and you can attend the exclusive pre-WrestleMania party with the Phenom himself. Included in Gold, Champion, and Elite packages, The Undertaker will be making a special appearance at pre-show hospitality. Enjoy all-inclusive food and beverages before the action kicks off at WrestleMania, while WWE superstars, including The Undertaker, stop by to mingle and take photos.
that's a loophole right there, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I would love to believe that they do it right. They do right by the people. But I don't know, man. Like, Undertaker, how much time and joy is he really going to take in, like, doing this?
I remember when they did these. So I think where they got the idea for this was through StarCast. Like Conrad used to like do things where like, hey, you can have breakfast with Scott Hall or lunch with Scott Hall or somebody, and then it would end up being like the worst spread of food in about 20 or so marks in like a big con hall. Like
hold on. Let me stop you right there. The $1 Million Man's theme music is playing. We just got a $5 tip.
Oh,
$2.50 each, Joe. Hope this helps you make it to Mania. Thank you, Logan.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, dude.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, so they're basically trying to run off of like the StarCast vibe.
Yeah, because I remember my buddy went to the Scott Hall thing and it was like, yeah, we're just all hanging out. And like he went over to the food and was like, what the hell is all this? Bring out the good stuff in the back. So he started bringing out all this like pasta and all these like better like.
Who, Scott Hall said that?
Yeah, he made the staff bring out like better
worked
food.
it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, here you go. At the beginning, just bring out some like burnt toast. And then I'm gonna be the hero.
Peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, that might be a.
No, bring out the good stuff. That's why Undertaker's gonna be at the bar. So like, when you go up and you go, hey, can I have a rum and coke? His like canned things be like, give this guy a double.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Dead man walk. Keep rolling.
See, it'd be cool if it's like, hey, Undertaker's gonna be at this thing getting wasted, But it's like nowadays, like they don't do, because if like back in the day, it's like, oh, hang out with a wrestler. It's like, oh, yeah, Scott Hall was drunk. I had to drive him to Waffle House. It was crazy, Whereas
yeah,
now
you don't get like the extra experience,
I think you'd
Oh,
probably
man.
have better luck figuring out a way, just hanging around all day and figuring out a way to like convince somebody that you're a photographer. That's probably, honestly, rather than $21,000, I just feel like if you get there at the right time when like people with like camera equipment are walking in, you
Yeah.
could maybe like just find the right person and confuse them just enough to get like a press pass.
Yeah, no, that happens often, or just stalk them at the airport or hotel or after they eat.
Or
Like,
pretend to be
well,
homeless. You could pretend to be homeless, get a haircut,
Yeah,
and do a whole thing, a whole inspirational thing.
well, yeah.
So you already got your tickets. Where are you sitting, Joe?
I just got 2 upper decks for my girl and me for both nights. They weren't that bad, but I also like they have all right. So when you go do the transaction on Ticketmaster, you go to this one page while they're holding your tickets, and they're like, "Would you like to also add this to your order? Like, would you like a lanyard for this amount of money? Would you like a commemorative ticket, or would you like a chair from the event sent home to you, hassle free, so you don't have to carry it and all this stuff?" So they're definitely.
Ooh, that's not bad.
I mean, you could definitely offer someone cash outside for way cheaper, but you know the game. People are going to be like, "Oh, I want the chair," so that's an easy 250 on top of already another 250 or whatever they're charging for a ticket.
Dude, imagine like being a person who's just a huge WWE fan and you go to this and you're like, okay, let's look at the hotels in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. And it's like, oh, 2-night stay, $1,800.
Yeah, those.
I mean, granted, it's you get the round trip event transportation, pre-show tailgate experience. Oh, okay, wow, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, I think a lot of these were like I wish I screenshotted the hotel too, because like I said, a lot of this stuff is new. Like maybe if you bought those other packages for only like $650 or plus fees or whatever like that, you might have got something good out of it.
Well, and
looking back.
also, I don't know. I guess.
Or maybe they just decided to raise the price because people were buying a lot.
But I mean,
of them
it's
or something,
brilliant because you're obviously partnered with like hotels around the area. Wyndham Hotel.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty close to my apartment. Actually, that's an old city.
You better rent out that apartment, Airbnb, half the price, $800 a night.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And you could say, hey, I can't guarantee that WWE superstars might not stop by my place. I can't guarantee that they will, but I can't guarantee that they won't.
Yeah. There you
my
go.
apartment is right near this hotel. Who knows if Undertaker gets a little
My apartment
lost.
is right next to, because they're probably going to use the truck, because they did Undertaker's show at the venue across the street from me. So the one-man show. And then that Suplex Wrestling store is another block down from me too. So they're going to have workers there too. And they're going to I can like advertise it like live wrestling right outside, 1 block away from One Man Show or whatever, Undertaker's show, 1 block away from the hottest wrestling vintage store on the East Coast.
There you go. Perfect.
$800 a night.
I want to drink
And just
Budweiser's
make
and chain.
6 months rent and like,
Yeah, I mean, you
Well,
should
dude.
rent out your car to sleep in. I want to drink warm Budweisers and chain smoke cigarettes with the Sandman. Where's that perk? I think that's a GCW Patreon, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, let's pee and then let's get into AEW.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
you guys in
everybody, take 5. Take 5.
Oh, so cursed, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Hello, we're back. We're old men. We need to pee. We need to pee halfway through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. Getting ready for WrestleMania in August. We're already ready. I'm gonna break to you an exclusive idea that I have, Joe.
All right, lay it on me.
Thank you to everybody watching. You get to hear this exclusive idea as well. I hate to put it out into the ether because I feel like it's gonna get stolen. But I want to do King of the Marks charity boxing. So Sean Ross Sapp,
Okay.
Peter Rosenberg, Sam Roberts, what the hell is the other guy? Ryan Satin, Andrew Zakarian of Mat Men, and basically you get big bubbly gloves. And it's like a brawl for all. But it's all good fun, and it's for charity, and all the lame wrestling pundits that piss everybody off have to
Dave
fight.
Meltzer?
Dave Meltzer.
He'll just like steamroll everybody with his arms.
Yeah, he's all gassed up, dude.
Yeah.
He's got 30 years of aggression.
70 years. 70-year-old fucking jacked up dude.
80-year-old Dave Meltzer. That's what I want to do WrestleMania weekend. So if you know a place in Philly who wants to run a charity boxing King of the Marks. And you know what? If we can't get the high-level marks, we'll just get Mittens. It'd be like Mittens is in there. That's all. That's the only person I know so far who I would.
I'm sure we can get some other GCW H2O degenerates to beat each other up for
that would be the best. That would be my very favorite thing. That's my goal.
Yeah, just be a bunch of degens and rats hanging on South Street watching people get beat up.
Yep. Oh, I love it. That's
already what we do. That's already what we do there. So it's nothing new.
Disgusting. Brian's in it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, one punch bed. One punch bed take time.
Brian versus Mittens, just 12 rounds. That's the whole show.
Pyro.
AEW is going crazy in all the things that you read, but none of the things that you watch. Apparently, they sold over 80,000 seats will be filled at Wembley Stadium. I think I had a pretty good take, if I don't mind patting myself on the back.
Yeah.
I think my Wembley Stadium take was pretty spot on.
Can you give us a brief version of it?
Okay. Yeah. Instead of a show-long version, yeah. So the brief version of it is that I think there's an allure and a mystique to Wembley Stadium. And I think that Wembley Stadium hasn't had wrestling since 1992 when SummerSlam was there. So I think that a bunch of WWE fans are going to be there. I think a bunch of soccer fans are going to be there. I don't know, out of the 80,000, how many of them are going to be AEW fans? I would estimate 50%. But the crowd's going to be crazy just because it's wrestling. So I think it's going to be a great show. It's not really going to give you an accurate depiction of AEW's global reach because, I think it's going to look a lot more impressive than the numbers would actually suggest. But good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? It's gonna be a good show. Good soccer England show,
There's going to be so many songs made up right there on the spot. Long, intricate soccer chant songs.
Yeah. Like where they're like, na 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 na. They like start singing something.
Oh yeah.
Na, na, na. Take off your shoes if you like this guy. Like it's the weirdest shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Take off your shoes if you like MJF. Take off your shoes if you like MJF. Like, okay, and then everyone's like this, like putting a shoe in the air. Okay.
Yeah, and then Excalibur's gonna be like, "Wow, this crowd is absolutely out of control, excited for all elite wrestling."
Tony would be like, "Wow, it's so much fun."
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, this is so much fun.
You know, 2 years ago, I dreamed of running a show right here at Wembley Stadium. And what did they do? What did the powers that be, the geniuses behind AEW decide was the best way to open up this Wembley Stadium show? With the main event wrestlers wrestling on the pre-show as a tag team. For tag titles.
It might end up being the longest show ever.
Oh, it's going to start. Well, I've been seeing, because I guess the time difference, you don't go to a watch party. You go to an all-in brunch bash.
Well, coverage starts at 1, or is the 0 hour noon?
I just know that there's going to be a bottomless brunch somewhere for All In.
I might, well, either way, I'm like flying back from that Nashville trip that I'm going on during it. So I think I'm going to miss it all. So I'll just watch it on repeat or maybe catch the end live and then go back or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be excited for it, and then I'll forget that it's on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and probably have to watch it after the fact as well.
Yeah, you'll like jump on Instagram and like already get spoiled in the world title match, and then
yeah, like oh shoot,
like oh wow, okay.
So
well, thank goodness we don't care about anything on the show, so for to get spoiled on.
What are your thoughts on that strategy? The main event, because they're saying that Adam Cole versus MJF is going to be the main event. They've said main event. So that means final match of the evening. So what are your thoughts on taking your main event guys and putting them on the pre-show?
Well, I mean, this can go either way. Like, who are they facing?
They're facing Aussie Open or the Kingdom or some
for the ROH World
for
titles?
the ROH tag titles, because those are the only titles in ROH that Adam Cole has never won.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get if they win, it's like, all right, then they're gonna be in the main event as the tag champs also. I just don't understand the booking of it whatsoever, to be honest with you.
I think it would be cooler if they won and their friendship was even strengthened going into the main event. That would make it a little bit more interesting. I think the easy way out is to just have them like lose due to a miscommunication, so now the stage is set for them to fight for real in the main.
I don't see why you couldn't do anything booking wise headed into that and not have them do double duty.
Well, that's what the older school wrestling fans, wrestling pundits are saying. Like, listen, no matter what the storyline is, a show with 80,000 people, you don't have your main event guys come out before the main event match. Like, just the very fact that the fans are going to see them early
and like blow their load before, you're like, it's weird. It's like there's a lot of weird decisions already going on right now.
I will say that creatively, it's an interesting choice, and it does intrigue me. But for a show of this magnitude, it might not be the time to do it. Like, if this was a normal all-in at like a 20,000-seat arena in the States, then it's like, oh, okay, let's do something a little creative to switch it up. But it's like, you could just play the hits. You should just be playing the hits in front of 80,000 people.
Yeah. The maybe it's to really give a rub to Ring of Honor if they make them they make them the tag champs. And now they're going to be on Ring of Honor shows moving forward. Then it's like, oh, and then people really like this MJF, better than you baby thing,
Well, it is the most popular thing, the most
Yeah,
intriguing
so
thing.
like maybe that might have been what it was. Like maybe Tony saw that that it was getting over, and all right, we need to like this has legs. How much juice can I pump out of this? So if people are watching Dynamite for Better Than You Baby, maybe they'll also watch ROH, which is my hottest hand at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think it gets like all lost in the shuffle. It kind of gets watered down and confusing because there are so many different titles. So
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know.
But you can still advertise them, and that's what's going to maybe sell tickets. You know what I mean? The Trenton, New Jersey Death Before Dishonor, or have people stick around after. You know what I mean? Because when did they tape Ring of Honor? After Dynamite?
I want to say I think it's before Collision.
Okay, but either
Or
way,
maybe it's
like
after Dynamite. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can advertise it as that. I mean, just how they used to like advertise. Oh, you're going to see CM Punk on Rampage or whatever like that.
I just think it's kind of like biting off more you can chew because you're going to have so many new fans in the building, so much new exposure. Why try to take them on this long, winding, convoluted story? Like, why try to take all these new fans and, like, catch them up on what you've been doing on TV? Why not just, like, set the hits and play the hits, like I said? What do you think is going to happen? Give me a prediction. You think they're going to win the tag titles, lose the tag titles? You think they'll break up right there on the pre-show? You think their bond will strengthen on the pre-show?
I think they'll just continue to do the teasy thing and not win. They won't win, and then they'll just continue to tease, and then they'll have some like long match. That should finally something should happen. Somebody should start really, turning in the match.
If wrestling has taught me anything, it's that all these guys want to redo stuff that Bret Hart did. And how about
about to say like double
turn, right? And then MJF will say I was a part of the greatest double turn in history because double turn's like a buzzword for workers to say.
Yeah,
we did a double turn. 80,000 people double turn, and we had them eating out of the palm of our hands. It's like, yeah, I guess you did. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess technically you did that, but they're in a position where they can do anything because it's going to be 80,000 drunk people just excited to be at Wembley Stadium watching wrestling.
Yeah, they can do anything. It'll be like one of the worst shows ever, and then it'll be like one of the hottest crowds, and then it'll transfer over as one of the greatest successes ever.
Yeah, that's kind of my opinion on the whole thing as well. The thing that's been popping up in my mind recently, too, is who wins the women's world title? Do they let Paige win it at Wembley Stadium? Do they let Paige finish her story?
I'd be fine with that. And they probably just take it off of her like a week later, do some WWE shit. Because, I mean, that's a 4-way women's match. Like, Paige doesn't need to work a lot on that either.
Right, she could rest. The person who they really want to be the long-term champion doesn't have to take the pin.
And also, it's Tony and Paige in that match, too. So.
Right, it's Tony, Paige, Sheeta, and who else? Britt Baker. Yeah, so maybe Britt Baker doesn't take the pin. So Paige wins, and they set up Saraya and Britt Baker.
Maybe.
What else? Then they all of a sudden threw together Jericho and Ospreay.
Yeah. Well, let's start this. Let's talk about that because we need to talk about that on Dynamite.
You want to talk about some AEW Dynamite?
I really want to talk about some Dynamite because this was a really, really bad show. So
well, you're usually the more positive one of the two.
I am. I actually, on my notes, it says Dynamite from Nashville, Tennessee, in quotes, the worst Dynamite ever. Yeah.
Wow. When's the last time you said that? Last week?
No, I think it was a while ago, but I didn't watch Dynamite. I don't watch wrestling as much as I do now. I watch it because of the pod.
So break it down for us, Joe. Break it down.
So Dynamite from Nashville, Tennessee. First segment was a match between Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Useless, brought to you by Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, already brought to you by.
Yeah, well, the whole show was advertised. They got rid of the Fight Forever advertisement,
right?
And now it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
And I saw they had Texas Chainsaw on the ring apron or on the ring canvas as well.
Really? Oh, that's right. They did. They put it on the canvas too. I've written here International Championship. Wasn't it the Atlantic Championship?
Yeah, it was the All Atlantic, but then they realized that they had Japan on the belt, the Japanese flag on the belt, and they were like, "Wait a second, that's the Pacific." Yeah, it's international. It's international.
So basically, it says went to the bathroom break and came back to chairs and Eddie Kingston.
So you took a bathroom break at 8:05.
I got down late, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do Wheeler Useless. This is like a Philly match. Both guys are from Philly too.
Right.
I couldn't care any less about either of them.
How much would you pay for a Philadelphia Phillies package where you could sit in a suite and hang out with Wheeler, Yuta, and Orange Cassidy?
Nah.
All three of you guys just wearing your little Phillies hats.
Yeah, that not at all. I'd pay to sit in there with the Undertaker at a Phillies game.
Like, what's this, baseball?
I like watching guns and yeah.
Maybe the rodeos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who won? Orange Cassidy won.
Oh, did he? Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
and then
assuming.
they set up for so Eddie Kingston came out and they set up for the Stadium Stampede. Cut to crowd reaction of someone like
Nice.
Yeah. So
wait, I thought I heard this, that they will do a Stadium Stampede. Now this is AEW's signature match, the Stadium Stampede. So it's going to be 6-on-6, and Orange Cassidy is somehow involved as well.
Is it 6-on-6 or 5-on-5? And the BBC need to find.
Oh, they need to find somebody else.
Yeah, the BBC need to find somebody else. So they don't have Dragon.
The Golden Elite. It's going to be.
No, that was in the War Games match.
So what the hell is this?
They're facing. Then? Who are they? They're facing. Was it Best Friends?
Oh,
Orange
okay.
Cassidy and Eddie Kingston. Maybe someone else thrown in there.
Oh, that's so strange. And the Golden Elite have to find another person because Brian did. No, the Golden Elite aren't in it. I'm sorry.
No, Golden Elite's in a match later on. We could talk about that then.
The BCC. Blackpool
BBC.
Combat Club, they need to find a new person because it's Yuta, Moxley, Takeshita, Claudio, and they need one more guy.
Yeah, so I'm missing someone on either end, but I didn't care enough to look into it.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. Next up was Jim Ross interviews Kenny Omega, because Jim Ross is known for his great interviewing, like vignettes and everything. I wrote down here, who is the Golden Sheik? LOL.
Wait, wasn't Kenny Omega? He was attacked.
Well, he was attacked in that segment, but they were the prior to that. Kenny said, "Oh, my uncle used to be the Golden Sheik. My uncle is the Golden Sheik. That's who got me into wrestling." Who the fuck is the Golden Sheik?
I don't know. Am I supposed to know that? Are we bad wrestling fans?
I looked that up, and I think he was the manager to Don Callis, and that's where the lore comes from. And then that's where the lore of like the Golden Lovers and all that also comes from.
And isn't this where Kenny Omega was attacked and Jim Ross just kind of like stood there?
Yeah. Take a shit. Jump Kenny.
Put him in the hospital.
Cut to Jim Ross looking helpless multiple times.
Yeah. There were many awkward Tim and Eric style shots of Jim Ross just standing there strangely.
He's just like, oh man. And then they cut to Hangman after that, and he was drinking again.
Off the
They're back-
wagon.
They're back to doing the drinking gimmick. Like he had a beer in his hand, and I'm like, oh no. Don't tell me that's an energy drink or something. And then someone comes up and says, sir, this is a hospital. You can't drink in here. And he just pounds the beer. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever.
So what is the match then?
I think they ended up doing. Oh, I just saw it today. It was Kenny and the Golden Elite versus fucking whoever.
I'm looking it up right now.
Or is that next week? I'm sorry.
I'm confused.
It's all right. I'll just keep going while you look at that.
Yeah, tell me.
Then next was the Jericho segment, which was incredibly awful. Jericho says yes to join Don Callis. And then they apparently Don was never wanted Jericho, I guess, in there because he had a chat like GPT, like AI generated artwork, or that's what it looked like to me.
Oh, the
him with a severed fucking head.
Oh, that's what Don Callis always expresses his emotions through, like sexy paintings.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a picture of Don Callis holding Chris Jericho's severed head. They're also wearing matching twinkling no sock shoes. Did you notice that? your favorite.
Okay, so this makes absolutely no sense. It's Hangman, Kenny, and Kota versus Juice Robinson, Jay White, and Takeshita.
Oh, that's at Wembley?
At Wembley.
Okay, all right.
And then for, this is even crazier, Stadium Stampede is Orange, Eddie, Best Friends, and the Lucha Bros. So that's 6 people.
Oh, wow.
Versus Moxley, Claudio, Yuta, and 3 TBA.
Wow, 3 TBA?
Right.
I mean, is it Pac? Well, no, Pac's with Lucha Bros in them, right?
Or no, Pac, he broke up with them, but he walked out on the
Oh, that's right.
BCC.
He was in the War Games after. Oh, my God. So many TBAs.
So that's really strange. That's a little bit odd.
So yeah, that
Back to Dynamite. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's all right. That Jericho segment was finished off with Ospreay hitting Jericho with a chair, and they're just gonna wrestle at Wembley. So it's gonna be Jericho and Ospreay.
Right,
A
busted
lot
them
of,
open.
I guess, a lot of matches. I mean, we're a week away, so a lot of matches.
It is
are
a
finally
week
getting
away,
announced.
right?
Week and a half ish, but they're technically a week and a half with shows. So you have a Dynamite, one Dynamite. You have 2 collisions and 1 Dynamite to book.
Yeah, it's like Creatively or Mojo on the television, they are like really limping into this pay-per-view. And, that's apparently the word on the street, too. We'll get to that after your Dynamite review. But that there are some rumblings of talent being upset with the lack of leadership by Tony Khan, our old friend.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the show. He was in a segment. He was in the
Oh, he was in front of his announcement green screen?
No, he was in the MJF Adam Cole segment on the show. He was in their cringy vignette that they do every week.
Oh, tell me about their new cringy vignette.
All right, we'll get there. Let's a little later. So
yes, tell me.
So next up was Darby and Nick Wayne versus the Mogul Embassy. I wrote no clue who is actually in the match. So what happened was, I think they had Darby and Nick Wayne come out, and the Embassy was already out in the ring, not Swerve and AR Fox. So Darby and Nick came out. They started getting attacked by who those other dudes are. The other bigger,
right? Like Brian Cage with the face paint and
yeah, like those dudes. They started fighting them, and then Swerve and AR Fox's music hit, and they started coming out. And then it wasn't even it was just a confused mess. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was supposed to be they forgot to come out, or it was supposed to be kind of a distraction. It happened in the first 10 seconds. I don't know, whatever.
Well, they tried to murder Nick Wayne in his house a few weeks ago.
That's the story.
They assaulted him in his own home.
In his little ring.
In his ranch, in his barn ring.
So Darby and Nick just win that. But what was the best part because there was no Prince Nana ringside.
Oh.
Sting, I guess, apparently kidnapped. Sting has gone off the deep end and he's going back to his Joker roots. And he's kidnapped, I guess, Prince Nana.
Prince Nana, no! Friend of the program. Oh, no.
And yeah, he was back there acting like a goof, which has now been screenshotted and used all over the internet and Twitter. The goofy Sting face. So now it's gonna. I don't know. It's probably gonna be, if it hasn't already been booked, what, like Nick Darby and Sting maybe versus, or maybe just Darby.
No,
and
apparently
Sting.
it's Darby and Sting versus AR Fox and Swerve. That's the booked
that's
matchup.
it. Yeah. So Nick will be on the buy-in or whatever they call it. All right. It just keeps getting better and better. So here's the MJF segment. So they went to an Outback Steakhouse to learn about Aussie Open better.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they were there. They're like, I don't know, I guess they just ate the food. They come out and they're like, oh, yeah. If the food is anything like, if their wrestling is anything like the food, then we're done for, or whatever like that. Man, Nicole just tells them to shut up. Those segments are really bad. What I've noticed is that when they do the vignette is unsufferable, but they immediately come out and then save the segment.
Oh, with like a live performance.
Then they always come out and do their live promo. But anyway, the one backstage end of the promo did show Tony Khan like yelling at them backstage or something like that.
Why was he yelling at them?
I don't remember why. I don't. I think I don't know what had to do with. Or maybe someone can
Bloomin' Onion. Let us know. Let us know what we missed here. All right, keep it moving.
Whatever. And then
sounds like it's on the lame-o-meter scale of 1 to 10. Sounds like it's a full Tony Schiavone.
Oh, yeah, it's Joker Sting. Fuck me. But yeah, the in-ring promos were good. There was some good on this show, and I think the segment was saved by them because they're really good chemistry together. And
so
stuff.
Did they progress?
And MJF is super fucking over now with them as a baby face. Like they're all like just finishing his sentences. He got huge chants going on. Like,
you think that heel
MJF, I am better than you. You know, whatever.
Next week, we do have one more week. So next week we'll do our full predictions. But in your gut, in the core of your being,
we have betting stuff probably also on DraftKings too.
Ooh, a little DraftKings. Wet our whistle.
Probably just going to be for the MJF Adam Cole match. But last time they had the main event on DraftKings and then another pool for the whole show. So
see, I missed that. You made yourself $3 richer.
Yeah. Oh, that for the match. Yeah.
Yeah, for SummerSlam. Well done. Good job, Joe, the sports gambling expert. So just give me a brief preview of a preview. Does MJF turn on Adam or does Adam turn on MJF if you had to pick one?
Well, they showed Adam at the end, so Roddy came out also at the end of the promo and went on the stage. What even made all this even worse is because Roddy's like tailing them, and Roddy goes up and like can't catch up to them backstage. They pull up with like a Lambo, right? And they all get out and are walking backstage or whatever. And Roddy comes running up, and he like pouts and kicks the tire of the car and like sells it like he broke his foot.
Classic.
And then they show him later on, like watching the promo or whatever, like icing his foot.
Oh, right. He was sitting there with the kingdom, watching the TV. I caught that. Yeah.
I don't know why any of that's even really necessary, but I think Roddy didn't come out this time, or I don't know what happened, but MJF had his back turned, and then Adam Cole was like sizing him up.
Right, he was going to kick him. I saw this too. Yeah. And then he didn't. They just hugged.
And then they just hugged it out in front of all the marks. The marks chanted, "Hug it out," and they hugged.
They love to chant to them to hug it out.
Yeah, hugging out is the new wave. She's a crack whore.
Okay, all right.
That's the age of wrestling we're living in now.
Yeah. Oh no, you can't say that at a wrestling show, Joe.
Yeah.
No. Don't even think about it. Not even in Philly. Not even during your ECW arena tour that you paid WWE to take you on.
$1,200 per person.
You chant? You can't chant the things that were chanted in that building.
Yeah.
Never. Don't even try it. I think up next was my favorite part of the show. This was appointment television for me. The Texas
This was arguably the
Chainsaw-
best segment all year.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game deathmatch. Jeff versus Jeff. It's like they
Jeff versus Jeff to death.
Yeah, TNA 2010 all over again.
Yeah. It was basically a cinematic match live. And it's as awful as you maybe thought it would be. I mean, started backstage, everything had cane lighting. Everything all was like eerie red.
They had eerie red. They had doors with like tools taped to the doors.
Yeah, to make it look like a meat like shed kind of thing, like butcher shed, whatever.
It was so bad because like I guess Jeff Hardy came out to the ring and then immediately like he like got on the middle and was like, "Hey everybody," and then he jumped off of the ring, out of the ring, over the guardrail, and he's walking by everybody going, "Hardy, Hardy, Hardy." He's trying so desperately to get everybody in the arena to chant Hardy, and then the camera's following him, and he walks back to the concession, and you can see to the left there were just people waiting for sodas. But like all the lights were red and he was going, "Hardy, Hardy." And then he saw the door with all the meat hooks on it. Good God.
Oh boy. Yeah, it was pretty bad. They also went to a commercial break like right away. And like Jay Lethal showed up. I don't know if it was supposed to be some like interesting spot where like these doors open up and Jay Lethal came walking in with like a cowboy hat and some weapon, because it wasn't just them in the match, it was all run-ins.
Yeah, it was everybody.
Like,
Matt Hardy came in, Isaiah Cassidy came in, Ethan Page came in, Karen Jarrett,
Satnam Singh,
but he was in overalls. He was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre farm boy overalls. The cool part was Jeff Hardy's face paint was pretty cool. He had the leather face paint.
Oh yeah, is that what that was? It was really cool. I was trying to figure that out.
And he was in like all white.
Yeah, and then like he closes his eyes and then has the eyes.
Yeah, the leather face paint was pretty dope. At one point, Matt Hardy just had a bucket of like fake blood, just poured it on Jeff Jarrett's head.
And Karen.
Yeah,
Karen got some of that too.
Well, that was the best part. Is that Karen and at I guess the backstage stuff, maybe it wasn't pre-taped, but it was very, very planned, and everybody had like a big smoky entrance. Then they fight down the ramp and they're at the ring again, and now all these people are involved and they're just fighting and resting, and there's fake blood, and like Jeff Hardy's like slipping, like I guess it's like sticky. So he's like hitting him with the kendo stick, and he's like looking at his hands and like going like ugh. And then
corn syrup, right?
Then I guess like it was like grenadine, yeah. And then they had like dry ice under the ring. They had like smoke machines under the ring. So now they're fighting, and there's smoke machines, and
it's
like
a mess, dude.
Oh,
I wish I had
I felt like I was watching like WCW or like
No,
Impact.
that's what I wrote. I was getting no, it was on the segment before with Cole and MJF in the vignette. I was like, I'm getting WCW 2000 vibes.
Yeah,
on
well,
this whole show.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match was, first of all, the furthest thing from any kind of serious death match. It was like a one-on-one stadium stampede, basically.
Yeah, basically.
But it was also Texas Chainsaw Massacre themed, so they had spooky lights and spooky smoke, and then of course, and Karen Jarrett, like she doesn't even know where she is in the ring. She's like, her timing's all off, so she's just like spinning
she's just screaming
a circle
around.
Yeah, and like wait for the cue, and then of course, Joe, you take it away. Walk us through the finale of this, please.
I said, it's in the ring. It's basically a 10-man brawl with furniture everywhere. Karen Jarrett crying. Wait, what's this? Oh no, it's Leatherface.
Well, first you heard the oh my God.
Sorry, RoboCop, WCW.
It was exactly that. And it's like WWF did the Mountain Dew Code Black match. They did the Pope's Exorcist, Hell in the Cell match. They did the zombies. You remember Day of the Dead with Batista where they fought with like a zombie lumberjack match?
Mhm.
It's like this was on that level, but even more inexcusable because this is supposed to be like the good wrestling. This is supposed to be the wrestling that isn't like held down by corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
And they had Leatherface come out, and it wasn't a good Leatherface either.
You think there was an actor that came out, or it was a wrestler?
I was looking at the photos, and I was trying to figure out which wrestler it was. You know, they just popped a mask on a dude.
Yeah, it was kind of husky.
I need to know who it was. It was like QT Marshall.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Somebody like that.
Kind of look through the eyes, like the holes in the eyes, and like figure it out.
Yo, and they didn't even have like a gimmicked chainsaw where it like had sparks or smoke. Like it was just off, and the sound effects were playing throughout the arena. And my God, it was so bad. And then I guess he chased off Karen Jarrett.
Yeah, the final girl, is that what they call it?
To of course eventually I guess get her to the backstage area, chase her right past Gorilla and Tony Khan and everybody else, and get her into the back and put her on a hook and wear her skin. I guess that's what I'm to assume happened to her at
Dead
the
by
end of the
Daylight.
Yeah, and then there was a guitar, and Jeff took the guitar, and yeah, it was a mess.
Jeff Jarrett wins.
Jeff Jarrett wins.
And there was a title belt, the Leatherface Championship, right?
I mean, that was pretty dope. I wouldn't mind having the Leatherface Championship.
That was kind of like it's kind of like dollar store Fiend belt.
You think Jeff Jarrett will put that on his mantle?
I hope he comes out with it next week, to be honest with you.
That'd be awesome. Jeff Jarrett, I don't mind him.
Yeah, he's all right with me now. So after that segment, amazing segment, it's just another, I guess it was just another women's match. Oh no, this was Bunny versus Britt Baker to get into the 4-way.
Right, and she wore the dentist's coat that she wore at the original All Out because she is a real life dentist.
Her roots, even though she was terrible at her roots, and she's better now than she was back then. But,
I think she's just not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Another great segment. The Acclaim was shown backstage, basically crying about Billy Gunn not being around.
Very emotional. Very, very emotional.
Immediately came out, did their thing, and their whole rap. And then I don't know, I guess they're out for a match, but then the lights went out. We can't have a Dynamite without the lights going out.
Classic.
And then who's in the ring? House of Black. Oh my God.
Spooky.
Yeah, they just ended up stomping them out, and that was it. And then Julia Hart just walked around Billy Gunn's boots, and no one cared. Yeah, probably.
Billy Gunn's not going to miss this all-in Wembley Stadium payday. Kidding me?
No, not at all. And then the main event was the Young Bucks versus the Gun Club. First time meeting. I thought it was actually a good match. But the Bucks pretty much dominated them, and then they won. And then there was another like afterbirth, like beatdown with Juice and Jay White and all them.
Oh, and this was the most obvious. I saw this coming from a mile away, and that FTR was going to come out and save the Bucks because of mutual respect, because they want them 100% healthy for when they fight them. Ugh,
how many times did Juice and Jay White jump somebody on this show? Was it like 3 different times? I think at least twice.
Maybe they're menaces.
It's just too much. Like the run-ins and the jumpings and all that stuff. It just happens too much. Like it just like when it's just all the same. You can't distinguish. Like that's why when I do these reviews, I watched the show this week and I'm still confused what exactly happened, because it all just like it's all together. It's all just one big mosh.
If the Gun Club and Bullet Club Gold are now in a feud with Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, and Kota Ibushi, why are they getting involved in the main event? And why can't you just have other guys? Why can't there just be like 2 other guys do that?
Yeah.
You know, why can't the guys be in the storylines that have to do with their matches that they have coming up?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it that they're short on good wrestlers that they need to keep using Bullet Club Gold?
I hate Juice Robinson. I just wanted to say that.
You hate him. Wow, everybody loves him. He's like he's kind of getting over.
Like just he's like trying, I guess, the Seth Rollins thing where he just acts like a jackass.
No, he's like a crazy macho man.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants to be Macho Man. I get it.
He just screams at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, come on, yeah.
Wow. So what match are you looking forward to the most a week and a half away from Wembley Stadium?
Whatever one CM Punk's in.
It looks like it's going to be CM Punk versus Joe.
Oh, that's right. They already did they already announce that?
I don't think it's announced, but Joe choked him out at the end of
Collusion. Yeah. I didn't watch all of Collision because I'm usually out or getting home just too late. I caught the end of that. Apparently, that trios match was good on that show, that main event. CMFTR versus House of Black.
Yes, I believe so. And House of no, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that was Saturday. He said no chops. House of Black chopped him, so he had to get through it and work it out by insulting Hangman Page after the cameras went off the air.
Yeah, Collision's great because it's between like that kind of those better book show shit like that happening, and then what were you saying about people getting sent home and?
Oh well, apparently everybody who talked any amount of shit about CM Punk or sided with the Young Bucks over this last year have been sent home from Collision. Apparently, Hangman was booked to do a pre-taped promo, but when he got to the building, they were like, no, you got to do it outside.
They kicked him out of the locker room.
Yeah, that he wasn't allowed.
Who's doing it? Like, who's actually kicking them? Like, Punk is in charge. Like, he's sending security there.
I mean, I don't know. And apparently,
Tony Khan not there.
It's just CM Punk show. I don't know. And but maybe it's an angle. Maybe the Young Bucks are about to win the tag titles, and CM Punk comes out and fucks them. And it's all of this stuff.
The CM Punk and obviously them is the best money match they can do. But it could be a kind of a cool thing where it's like Collision guys versus Dynamite guys.
And it's like a screw job. Like CM Punk screws them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but apparently Dolph Ziggler's brother Ryan Nemeth tweeted out, like this is when Punk was on hiatus, tweeted out softest guy in the world. And CM Punk was like, "Oh yeah, I'm soft. Well, guess what? No match for you. Bye-bye." And Ryan Nemeth got sent home, and they apparently had words, and it was like, "Yeah, leave."
Apparently Christopher Daniels got sent home.
And Christopher Daniels is a talent relations guy. So he'd be the guy sending people home at the behest of CM Punk, but CM Punk was like, "No, you go home too." Apparently Matt Hardy showed up. Matt Hardy, very outspoken about loving the Young Bucks. Yeah. Matt Hardy gets sent home too. So it was so he talked shit on Hangman, who couldn't do his promo inside the building, had to do an outdoor promo. Ryan Nemeth got sent home. Christopher Daniels, Matt Hardy, and apparently there's a mysterious fifth man who got sent home too. Who's the fifth man?
Wow, fifth man. I'm intrigued.
Yo, and CM Punk is just all about it. All about.
Are they showing up to work next week, or are they just not showing up to Collision tapings anymore? Is the real question.
I don't know. And then apparently,
I wouldn't be showing up. I'd be like, "Yo, I got sent home. I'm done. You're still sending me my check."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about AEW. They what happened with Andrade. They were like, "Andrade, you said last week you said you were gonna punch Sammy Guevara. If you come into work today and you punch Sammy Guevara, we're gonna send you home." What did he do? Showed up, found Sammy Guevara, punched him right in his face, went home, sitting back counting his money.
Shows up, raise hell, leave.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Yeah. So CM Punk called Hangman a peg warmer. Said that they call him Hangman because he was at a local supermarket, and that's all his action figures do is just hang there.
Which I appreciate because I understand like the joke as a collector, but was at the flea market the next day on Sunday, and I went to Walmart and just checking out the figures in there, and it was all MJF figures warming the pegs.
Wow. Wow, you think
and one Adam Page figure.
Maybe they just ordered a few too many MJF figures.
I think sometimes they mess up and like one case that's supposed to be an assortment ends up being just like all one wrestler.
You hate going into a Walmart, seeing what toys they have to offer, and it's all just the peg warmers left over.
I'm just surprised to see figures on the fucking walls post COVID. I mean, like when it was during COVID, like there was nothing on the walls, bro. And with all the resellers and stuff now, it's even worse. But yeah, I hope Punk continues his rampage. No pun intended.
He does seem like he's on a rampage. And then apparently, I read this article. My phone has since died, so no more notes for the show. But apparently, there's some serious leaks coming out that Tony Khan, you know, we've been hearing this forever, and you kind of can even get the impression through watching the TV show that he has no control over anything. You know, and I kind of felt this way ever since he smoked Big Swole's weed. You know, when he smoked her weed. And she tweeted,
my weed.
Jade Cargill, 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. Jade Cargill was like, I'm just not going to be a wrestler anymore. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even know.
Did she take her ball or whatever and go home?
I think she might have. She lost once and was like, I need a break.
Yeah. She's not really meant for wrestling, bro.
Well, I mean, I thought she was great.
Yeah.
And she is the only person to have ever tagged with Shaquille O'Neal. So that's like one for the history books right there. So no Jade Cargill, she just left. Apparently, the same things that we just spoke about how the lead into All In seems a little jumbled and disjointed. Apparently, the talent think that too. That everybody's pissed about Tony Khan letting CM Punk do whatever he wants. Everyone's pissed about Tony Khan being all wacky about his booking. And apparently, there's no sense of teamwork or unity or clarity going into this show who, you know, some are now calling the biggest wrestling show of all time, including MJF, their champion himself. Saying it's
might be into being the biggest shit show of all time simultaneously.
I mean, well, that's the thing. The crowd is going to make up for a lot of the, you know, negative aspects.
But the one thing I'm also thinking about is they confirmed that there was going to be another pay-per-view a week later, right? They're still running Chicago, right?
Oh, that's right. They are doing Chicago a week later at like the next.
They're gonna run one huge show and then they're gonna immediately turn around and book another pay-per-view within a week.
Yeah, I think the comeback show from Wembley is in Chicago, and it's going to be like a big thing.
What are they going to do then?
Well, you gotta have Punk interrupt the Young Bucks and do a match that Wednesday.
It's the only thing that they can like just have a week build to is something that just needs to happen.
Well, that's just gonna because that's the only thing that would be instantly hot. You know, like what
there's
are you
nothing they can get over within a week or one Dynamite.
Right, like I guess you could have the pay-per-view end with like MJF and CM Punk like dueling belts, maybe. See, I want to see CM Punk join MJF. Like fuck, I don't want to see him fuck over the Young Bucks. I want to see him fuck over Adam Cole and join Max, and they both have their titles at the end of the pay-per-view. And maybe they even spray paint an X over Max's too.
Yeah, they need to do something that is I don't think they have it in them, but they need to do something really remarkable at the end of that show or like somewhere on that show to have a quick turnaround in Chicago and be able to have these buys and, you know.
Yeah, I think
flying out for that. They're doing a Starcast for it. They're expecting people to fly in for this shit and do a con and shit. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many people do you think are there a lot of people?
Sean's in the chat. What's up, Sean? He said Collision versus Dynamite, maybe 8-man tag. I suggested that earlier.
In Chicago. It's almost like the culmination of the Young Bucks CM Punk story. Even if they are ever going to get to it, I almost wouldn't want it to be in Chicago. I'd want it to be in like a neutral ground.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know. Either way, like even if they were in Chicago and it's 99% on Punk side and Collision side and FTR side or whatever, they're just gonna go somewhere else and then people are gonna shit on Punk. You know, I mean, it's 50, still 50-50. Like,
Yeah.
he's still not completely over with the crowd. These people aren't gonna turn on the Elite.
Well, and I think Punk likes it that way, but it's just I think you said it best. I don't think they have it in them. I don't think this pay-per-view is even that great, honestly. Like the MJF Adam Cole stuff is cool. I guess the fact that they have FTR and Young Bucks is cool but that's kind of thrown together last minute. But also it's like, even if they started that earlier, how many more weeks could you get out of it? Even just last week, it was terrible. They had FTR come and save the Young Bucks. It was the most obvious, like, mutual respect bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't even have a story to tell for the marquee matchups they have. So how are they going to come out of it? You know, I would love to be surprised. I would love to have the finish of MJF versus Adam Cole be like, oh my God, wow, that was so smart. That was so smart. But, like, what are the chances of them doing that? You know, they very rarely do they shock me with their genius.
That's what I'm saying. Like that just because it's I mean, both companies do that. Sometimes they need to shock people, and they don't. Majority of the time, they don't shock people.
Yeah, and
sometimes the most obvious thing is the right thing to do.
Yes, but I believe that I feel like AEW needs something shocking. They need like some kind of swerve, because the history of All In is that, like, you know, oh my God, like this guy, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, you know, Moxley, they all debut either at the beginning or the end of the summer.
Yeah.
So they need something. I think. I mean, I don't know. It's like
Floundering. That was when they were at their peak when all those guys came in.
Yeah. Well, and they had the double reveal of Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan, which was dope.
That was
I think that was All Out.
All Out 2021.
But you know, and it's weird
a difference like what now 2 years now makes.
Yeah, they're
ropes, but they have 3 big shows. Sean just mentioned in chat Arthur Ashe too. That's 3 big shows within 30 days.
Yeah.
With that, not less than 30 days. No, it's like 30 days because
it's like a month. Yeah.
On the 26th, All Out's the next week, and then 2 weeks later, it's Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, but
they're
but
gonna
like
have to.
I just don't have any faith that they have the story for all 3 of those huge shows already planned out and in the chamber. I think they're flying by the seat of their
Billy
pants.
Gunn versus, like, you know, Jeff Jarrett or like Jeff Hardy or, you know, something like that. And they're just going to expect people. They think their brand is way bigger than it actually is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a lot of empty seats in that Arthur Ashe if they don't do something big for that.
Yeah, and they think that coming out of Wembley, it's going to be packed, but I think it's going to be quite the opposite.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I hope they swerve us. Because WWE, it's like you look back at the SummerSlam, right? Now, SummerSlam, it's not at Wembley, but it was at Ford Field, which is a pretty massive stadium. And this is what wrestling's all about to me. It's like Daniel Bryan does this all the time. Everybody in the building knew that Roman was going to win. But they took you on a tale that, like, still made you think for 1 second that maybe Jay was going to be able to pull it off. And then when it was all said and done and the dust settled, you wanted to see what happened next week. Like, they actually left you with, like, a good thing. Like, oh, wow, I can't wait to see what happens next week on, you know, As the World Turns or whatever. But yeah, except for Adam,
their brand can do whatever they want. The E can do whatever it wants. Its stock has only been growing.
Right, they're past putting on good wrestling at this point.
They don't have to. Now they've extended to 2 nights. Their biggest night is now 2 nights. They can put their second biggest show in the arena that usually has hosted their biggest night in SummerSlam. You know, I mean, it's mind-boggling to guys like, you know, us, you know, that are like, you know, the matches aren't great, the storylines aren't there, but they're still selling out. Like Philly, people say Philly is not going to sell out. Of course it's going to sell out.
Yeah, of course.
East Coast Philadelphia. That's why I got my tickets. I want to go. I live here, yeah, but like, I'm not dealing with StubHub and those.
The link.
Tickets aren't going to drop. Those tickets will not drop. You're going to need to get retail or bust. You know, I keep telling my friends that, like, the brand. It's only surprised me. I think I've had them figured out, but the last few Manias have really like put it in perspective. Like I'm like, people really love their shit. They can do anything and go anywhere, Saudi Arabia, wherever, like
the value of the ritual. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I guess Tony Khan and AEW thinks they are that, and they're not.
Well, because they just did a Texas Chainsaw. Like WWE could do that. WWE could do that. Pope's Exorcist, Day of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, Cinnamon Toast Crunch fucking match. And it's like, it doesn't affect them negatively because number one, they're making a shit ton of money. Most of the real WWE fans aren't hardcore and don't get like super offended if there's a little foam Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy jumping around ringside. But even if they do, it's like even us as like hardcore fans, we've just come to expect that that's what they're gonna do. It's whatever. That's a small portion of the WWE show is that they'll do something corny like that. Whereas AEW to do something corny like that, you're like really damage their brand. It's like it could be really damaging, and that's what I was thinking last night. I'm watching Jeff Jarrett fight fucking Jeff Hardy in Texas. Oh my god, it was terrible. And I'm like, yo, like the AEW truthers who've been there from the beginning, they have to be sick to their stomach right now. Like,
no, they never will be because like they're just like say the truthers.
It's just tribalism.
It's like they're ride or die,
But okay, well, if you were a hardcore PWG, New Japan, being the elite fan from day one, you have to be looking at the show going like, wow, I can't believe they, got paid $150,000 to do that with fucking Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy. Yo, the company was supposed to be about like guys like Ethan Page and, Private Party and, Kip Sabian and Sammy Guevara and all these guys who are going to be like the next generation. And like 2%.
Darby and these guys, yeah.
Well, Darby still has a spot. Like a few of those guys still have a spot, but we literally just watched Jeff Jarrett versus fucking Jeff Hardy. I'm sorry, they should have had Abyss come out with the chainsaw. The hell? But
yeah, it's like you said, like I think that's the only your theory, your tinfoil hat theory about Wembley. That might be the only way they were able to sell out all those tickets. But it's also a lot of AEW marks in England, and they like going to big shows. That's their big thing. They go have a pint or 10 pints, and then they go to a big wrestling show. If they ran Dynamites all day there, they probably would have to black out the other half of their arena or whatever, just like they do here in the States.
Yo, I mean,
the pictures of like half the arena not being filled and shit.
I would love to be in Wembley. I think that like, once again, there are things like WrestleMania. It transcends the actual wrestling. It's just like the experience of being there. Yo, it's going to be awesome. There are going to be 80,000 maniacs in that building singing, if you like MJF, take your shoes off.
I think it's, now that I think about it, I think it's like, if you hate MJF, take your shoe off. I think that's like, if you hate this person, take your shoe off. And then everyone has the shoes and you look up and you're like, oh, everyone hates me,
Because the shoes.
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait. But we are going to save next week. We're going to run through the card. We're going to give our predictions. And maybe, you're a massive sports gambler. I'm a novice sports gambler. Well, we're both novices, really.
Yeah, right. I am.
But maybe we should.
I just made a little more money and maybe some better bets, and that's it.
Hey. Well,
I lost way more money than you have, though. So.
That's right. You're in it to win it. I throw my little 10-cent bets out there, and I'm like, look, Joe, I won 50 cents.
Oh, I bet on Pete Alonso tonight to hit a home run.
Oh, God. Why would you do that?
Because he hits home runs.
He does. He is a big bowling pin of a man.
Let's see if he hit a home run.
He
did!
Yeah! Woo! Way to go, Pete. He's kind of
go.
like white Ryan Howard a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like a young first
nice.
baseman hitting bombs. Like, yeah. I mean, Ryan Howard was lefty.
They won, too. The Mets did also win, too.
Here we go. Who do we play again? The Brewers.
It was the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. That's right. I knew it was Midwest.
Phillies are 3.5 up in the wild card, by the way.
Wow. Like all of the wild card or like the second wild card? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess as long as they're making it.
Yeah, no, it's all. There's only one wild card. It just picks all those teams at the top.
Right. It's 2 spots in the wild card bracket or like wild card race.
There's 2 wild cards, AL and NL, but yeah.
Right. All right. Well, Joe, it was a pleasure as always. Next week, we're going to get into AEW Wembley Stadium predictions, and the tinfoil hat will be on yet again.
We should have draft bets also ready for
DraftKings bets. All the drama going on. Who's CM Punk going to ban from the building this week?
Yeah. We'll cover a little more Collision maybe next week too, because I think we should.
Yeah.
Highlight AEW a little more right now because they are going into a big show.
Yeah.
So.
And thus concludes the 3rd episode of Here Comes the Lame. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Day one, Here Comes the Lame Truthers, the Lamers. Tony Schiavone, president of the Lame-O-Meter. And I guess this is really just more of a documentary series about us striving to take better notes as the wrestling gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. That's it. Final thoughts?
I mean, now that the Lame-O-Meter's up, probably it was definitely a Tony this week.
Oh, I mean,
Dynamite was a Tony completely.
Yeah, Tony
Tony
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, Tony Chainsaw Massacre. Yes. But yeah, looking forward to covering Wembley next week, and maybe we'll have some more betting and gamer talk next week. I need a new game. I'm kind of burnt out on Diablo. So.
Oh yeah, Joe, you gotta stop it. Stop doing it to yourself.
Yeah, I kept beating the dead horse. Trying to play like an old game, like an old Nintendo or Super Nintendo game on my Switch or something.
All right.
Like Metroid, go back to that or something.
I saw that there was a game on Switch that's a golf RPG. Check that out.
Okay.
Tell me about it. I don't know, golf RPG.
Okay, I'll Google it.
Google it. Thank you,
Hi,
Joe. Sean. Whoops. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being active in the chat. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate all of you. Sean will be at GCW weekend with the Boots on the Ground report. Joe, hold on. I'm not done with the episode. Are you going to be at GCW this weekend?
I'm not going to any shows this weekend, actually. I just have no interest in anything. I have friends who are coming into town and staying at my place to go to the New Japan show in Philly. And I think I'm just going to hang with my girl this weekend. It's like $60 with fees to get in for general admission for New Japan. Like, I'm not fucking paying that. Fuck inflation or fuck them or fuck the arena. I'm not paying that bullshit.
Hey, do you know what? That's okay because it's not going to affect this podcast. Just read the headlines, watch the clips, jot down a few notes, and we'll act like we were there. On behalf of Jedi Joe and myself, I appreciate all of you. Let's just let Slug Christ play us out. You can check out this song on all streaming platforms, as well as our brand new Here Comes the Lame merch. Only $20 on boulevardblues.bigcartel.com. And, that's pretty much it. I think that does it for me. And Jedi Joe, we're out of time. Bye-bye.